With school starting back up, having the right tools can help you succeed this coming year. So here are 6 of the best software that you could possibly use for this coming up school year. Let's get into it. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and we're talking about 6 of the best software you can use for this upcoming school year. The first one is a friend of the channel, and it's going to be OnlyOffice. OnlyOffice is for Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android. They are a friend of the channel, but they're not sponsoring this video. The reason I like OnlyOffice is because it's so simple and easy to use, and it is a very robust Office suite. It has a writer or a document portion. It has something for spreadsheets. It has something for a presentations app like PowerPoint. And also it does forms now. It just works. It opens anything that is formatted for Office. A lot of times what I do, I'll go and download a template from office.com and open it up in OnlyOffice. OnlyOffice claims that it's 100% or close to 100% compatible with Microsoft Office. And from my testing and the years I've been using OnlyOffice, I hadn't seen anything that it can't open yet. It may be something, I hadn't seen it yet. It's really amazing. You can get a fully fledged Office suite for free. If you want more information about what OnlyOffice is, what it can do, I have a link right here. So you can click on that. All right, number two. Number 2 is going to be Google Scholar. Google Scholar is web-based. So why is Google Scholar so important? So Google Scholar is a database or a search engine that has a bunch of peer-reviewed articles and journals and books about any subject. You can put anything from like lemons or the common cold or oak trees, and you'll get a bunch of articles and journals and books. They may just be abstracts. An abstract is just like a little short synopsis or a little short summary of what's going on, but it can point you in the right direction. And the reason this is so important for like people who are writing reports or things like that is Wikipedia for most instructors or teachers or professors isn't a good source of information. I personally think it's a good initial source of information. They'll give you the groundwork to go and jump off of things like that. So you can't use Wikipedia. You need something that points you in the right direction so you have peer-reviewed articles that can shore up your paper, whatever point you're trying to make. You may not be able to get full access to the article, but it can point you in the right direction. Sometimes they give you full access, sometimes they don't. And if you're in school, your library might have a subscription to some of these articles. So it's a good thing to use your library and Google Scholar in cohesion together. The third one is VLC. VLC works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Let me tell you, VLC is the workhorse when it comes to my personal and professional work. And even when I was in school, VLC came in clutch because there was some files that my built-in movie player wouldn't play, or things like that, or some weird audio format. VLC is open 98% of anything I've thrown at it. It's just the workhorse of the media player. So professionally, I work for a municipality, and I also support the police department. And when you're going to all these different businesses, getting surveillance video, a lot of them are in just weird formats or formats that aren't as common. And VLC has no problem opening any of them. So as far as like entertainment, or if you need to look at a lecture and maybe your lecturer uses an odd video format, VLC 98% of the time, in my experience, opens anything, plays anything. It is the best media player, in my opinion, that you pay nothing for. The fourth one is Krita. Krita is for Windows, Mac, Linux, Chrome OS, and Android. A lot of times when we think about education, we think about the academic side, and we really don't think about the artistic side. I think you need balance between both academic and artistic, right? And Krita is a painting application or a painting program. I've seen a lot of professional artists, a lot of professional digital artists use Krita to make some very amazing pieces of art. The learning curve is a little steep, but once you learn, and there's plenty of videos about Krita, You can make some very amazing things when it comes to artwork. It has the ability of you can buy brushes or download brushes and put it in there and use that. Let's say if you're trying to start off being a digital artist or you want to just do art, it allows you to get out there and start creating without having that barrier of paying because it's free on all these platforms. Plus, it's open source, and if you know anything about this channel, we love open source on this channel. I love open source on this channel. But if you look for a powerful drawing software or a powerful painting software, it's up there even with some of the top paid ones. The next one is 4K Downloader. 4K Downloader is one of my favorite ways to download videos from the internet. You can download things from Facebook or YouTube or any other thing. And the reason why that's important, like a lot of my videos on this channel or some presentations I made using PowerPoint or something like that, having a visual or it can even extract audio, having that to drive your point home is very key. Now, I'm not saying that you take and you download videos and you just use the whole thing and call it your own, but you could take like fair use, like this video if you want to. I don't know if you want to use it in a presentation. You can take it, put it in 4K downloader, download it and snip it up. And like, hey, here's a point that I want to make. Here's a person who's saying what I really want to say, and take a clip and it bolsters your point. I'll give you a prime example. When I was in school, it was a class I was taking for my cybersecurity degree. And Linus Tech Tips made an excellent point. And in my presentation, it was a PowerPoint presentation. I used 4K Downloader, downloaded the video, took a 5-second snippet to put in there. And I was like, hey, here's the point that I'm trying to make. Or it was more like 10 or 15 seconds. Being able to extract audio and then download video is a great tool to have, especially when you're giving presentations. And 4K Downloader is for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And the last one is OpenShot. OpenShot is for Windows, Mac, and Linux also. OpenShot is a video editor. And sometimes you need a little small editing. And if you need something that's not as complicated or convoluted as DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use, this is a very simple editor, and it reminds me of the old Windows Movie Maker days. You can do things like cut and transitions and emojis and things like that. It takes something that seems very complicated and puts it in a way that people can understand. It's a very simple to use, very easy video editor. So for those little quick projects you need just a little editing done to them that you need to turn in or things like that, OpenShot does a fantastic job of editing and making things more accessible. That's what I like about software like OpenShot, is that it takes something very complicated and makes it more accessible to everybody. So everybody can gain a skill, or everybody can produce something without having to pay an editor thousands and thousands of dollars to do something, right? It takes the power of creativity and puts it back in the hands of regular people. And that's what I like about software like OpenShot. Bonus. The bonus isn't necessarily a software, but it's a resource that you probably have in your community, and that is your public library. Public libraries are a wealth of information. A lot of public libraries have access to different databases where you can go and do research. More importantly, they also have access to different programs where you can download free books or download free music, or like my library where you can actually watch movies. You can go to this database and watch movies, or they have things like educational Roku channels that you can have access to. Like Curiosity Stream, things like that. Even though it's not a software, I think the bonus, like libraries are the key to any community. I always believe that libraries and internet is the great equalizers. Like you can come from way down low like I did. And I spent a lot of time at the library. I spent a lot of time watching public media. like PBS and things like that. And the amount of I've never been to a lot of these countries, but I've learned so much about culture and food and famous people by looking at these resources, being in the library. It took me to worlds that I've never been before, and it took a poor black boy from Mississippi. He could go anywhere that he wanted to go, and that's why I've always loved public libraries, and they are something that's near and dear to me. So public libraries, even though it's not a software, is your bonus for the day. So check out your public library. Go get a library card. You're already paying for it with your taxes. And use the resources you have. The amount of information and resources and just the help that most librarians will give you. Unimaginable. Librarians and libraries are a hidden resource that you should use, even if they're at your school. Librarians and libraries. Now I'm off my soapbox. What is the free software that you or your student uses every day at school? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like videos like this, check out the video I did about the 5 best free alternatives to Microsoft Office. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.